What's crack-a-lackin'? Welcome in to My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Show.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of My Mind is a Weapon Fantasy Football Podcast. I am your host, Sleazebum. Today's episode, we're going to be going over my wide receiver stardom, sit-em, every single matchup heading into week 4. This is going to be the statistical breakdown you want to listen to every single matchup. Receptions, yards allowed, ranking, defensive injuries, cornerback positional matchups. I'm going to give you all of that in this video. If you want to check out my running backs and quarterbacks, those are also out as well, guys. And I'll drop my tight ends next. And remember, I'm only going to be live this Thursday. So I'll be heading, shout out Mama Slee's 60th birthday to Vegas. I won't be here Friday to Monday, but I'm going to try and get you guys all my content out before Thursday so you have it. Before we dive into it, guys, make sure you smash that thumbs up, hit that subscription, helps me out a ton. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support you guys have shown me this year. It's been absolutely amazing. And if you guys want to talk fantasy football 24/7 off stream, me and my partner Big Draft Energy, we host the Guys FF Premium Discord. It will be pinned in the comments and in the description. We cover everything: dynasty trades, dynasty player values, roster reviews, trades to make in redraft, stardom, sit-ems. We even post our pick'ems and DFS plays in there as well, tertiary plays, on drafters.com. Make sure you sign up using promo code SLEAZE. I hit all 4 locks in a row to start the season. We are on fire. I'm going to drop my ticket in there for Thursday here, either tomorrow or Thursday, and hope we can lock in another one there. And let's take a look. Let's dive into my wide receiver stardom sit-ems here for week 4. So if you guys are new to the channel, this is my stardom sit-em wide receiver board. Green will be a start. Yellow will be a flex play. I will give you high-end, low-end flex on that as well. Red will be a sit-em for me. Away team will be at the top. Home team will be at the bottom, with the verses heading down to the home team. And let's start it off here with the NFC West division battle. The Seattle Seahawks at 2-1 are headed into the Arizona Cardinals at 2-1. Just lost to my 49ers. Rub a little dirt on him right there. Jackson Smith-Njigba. This guy has been a pure alpha 1 wide receiver. You can start him every single week without questioning it for the rest of time. Probably 4 or 5 years, not the rest of the time. But instant start. You get the Arizona Cardinals this week. Cooper Kupp's been a little hesitant. He's still possibly a low-end flex play if you need. Same with Torrey Horton, but he's a deeper league play for me as well. Torrey Horton got the kick return last week, and he got a touchdown last week in the corner of the end zone. Sam Darnold with a beautiful throw to him there. But why I like all of them as a possible flex play here is the matchup as well. The Arizona Cardinals ranked 24th versus the wide receiver, giving up 36.5 points to the wide receiver per game. They've given up 79 receptions to the wide receiver through 3 games, 494 yards through 3 games just to the wide receiver. You got to remember, that's not total yard defense. That is literally 170 yards a game they're giving up to the wide receiver alone. So if you divvy that up between 3 of them, you'd be looking at 80 yards a wide receiver. That's not obviously how it goes, but that's why I'm saying they could all be a flex play here, and Torrey Horton is emerging. And they've given up 2 TDs to the wide receiver position as well. So again, J-Season, smash start every single week. Cooper Kupp, Torrey Horton, more of a deep play. Cooper Kupp, more of a low-end flex play. But man, they could all score in this game because the Arizona Cardinals secondary is struggling. Cardinals side, this is a terrible matchup. Absolutely horrible. The Seattle Seahawks defense is lights out versus the wide receiver, number 2 overall in the NFL, only allowing 20 points a game. They've only given up 28 receptions for 296 yards and a touchdown. What? That is a damn good defense. This is going to be a very tough matchup. And Marvin Harrison Jr., here we are again. Kyler Murray and him are disconnected. You saw him drop a wide open 50-yard, would have been probably a 75-yard touchdown catch. He looks disengaged. The after season videos or press conference clips, everything like that, dude, I don't know what is going on. I can't say start him in green. The matchup is terrible. It's a short week, Thursday night football. The over-under is 43.5. Seattle's favored by 1.5. I like Seattle to smash them in this game. I think the Cardinals are frauds. I think their first 2 wins were absolutely fraudulent. James Conner is gone. I do like Trey Benson in this game if you checked out the running back video. But, man, what to do with Marvin Harrison? This guy's so talented. They're using him wrong. It is just a freaking nightmare, man. And if you need to flex him, I'd say that's on you. I'm more of a lower-end flex on him this week. But obviously, if you paid the capital, you're going to start him. But fuck, it's time to panic, man. The 2-1 Minnesota Vikings, led by Carson Wentz, who if he wins this game, you may be looking at him as the starter either way for the rest of the way here, which is scary for J.J. McCarthy owners. So they're going into the Pittsburgh Steelers, both teams 2-1, over under 40.5. Minnesota favored by 2.5. And Carson Wentz, I like as a sleeper play this week. I really do. I know it's, you look at last week, he had 12 points, but their defense scored 2 touchdowns, and the game script was led towards more Jordan Mason. Now, we get Justin Jefferson, and we get his boy Jordan Addison back to draw a little attention away from Justin Jefferson as well. And you finally saw TJ Hawkinson, who J.J. McCarthy couldn't find at all, open up with Carson Wentz as well. You're going to get the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And, man, when the season started, you look at those corners they have. They had 3 superstar name, a couple vet name corners, and they rank 15th versus the wide receiver, giving up 32 points a game. They've given up 40 receptions, 462 yards, and 2 touchdowns. They are hemorrhaging yards to the wide receiver. This is going to be a game where it's going to be tougher for Jordan Mason to run. I don't think they're going to be ahead. I like Jordan Mason as a start for anytime touchdown. I mean, you could watch the running back video on that. I just think it's going to be a different game script, a lot more passing here from Carson Wentz in this game. That's why I like Wentz as a sleeper. And you got tons of weapons, man. It's got to be, you got to start Justin Jefferson. And I'm going to say, actually, we'll do it live right here. It's his first game back, right? We need to temper expectations here. I'm not going to say Jordan Addison is the flex play. I'm going to move him to a sit here. It's his first game back off DUI. I don't want to throw him out there right away. I'll say sit him. Justin Jefferson, you're always starting. Steelers side, man, it's getting scary here. I don't know what it is, but the DK Metcalf connection does not look good. But obviously the volume is going to be there. So I'm still going to say start him just because, and he had that great tiptoe defender on him touchdown catch, which was going to be in his highlight reel for his career for sure. It was a great catch. But you're going up against the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings just got their defense healthy last week, got 3 starters back. Darisaw is a huge piece of that defense. They average 18 points a game to the wide receiver. That's number 1. This is the number 1 defense versus the wide receiver through 3 weeks. Very, very tough matchup coming for DK here. So they've only allowed 25 receptions for 278 yards and a touchdown. That is damn good. Still, I'm a volume chaser. Volume is king. I'm not sitting DK Metcalf. And if they fall behind, which the Steelers have kind of been in every game, which is a Mike Tomlin theme, then you'll get more volume for DK. So let's say the Vikings blow him out, then it's a better situation for him too. But I'm still starting him, but it's kind of like a lower end start just because the Vikings are so good versus the pass. The 2-1 Commanders, and we hope that JD5 is going to be out there, are heading in to face the Atlanta Falcons. And I said multiple times, like week 1 and week 2, I had Terry McLaurin on a sit, didn't like it. Week 3, I said he'd get ramped up. You saw him get ramped up, then you saw his quad go down. So we don't have the injury status on him. But either way, off the holdout coming out at 30 years old, like I said this multiple times on multiple videos and shows, when a guy holds out at age 30, they usually ramp up like week 3 or 4. So this would be the time that he ramps up, but then he gets hurt again. So there's no way I'm even starting him, even if they say that he's going to be out there healthy in this game. And they also have a very, very, very tough matchup versus the Atlanta Falcons. This is one of the best secondaries in the league. You got to pay attention to the injury updates for A.J. Terrell, their star corner, who missed last week. Could he be back this week? We don't know yet. I haven't seen the update yet either. So they rank number 4 versus the wide receiver. They give up 25 points a game. That is very, very good. They've given up 28 receptions for 369 yards and 2 touchdowns. So they hemorrhage the yards. That's for sure. But the receptions they don't allow. So they're more of a bomb team that beats them deep, right? So Deebo Samuel, when you have the Cliff Kingsbury system, this guy's going to get the underneath. He's going to get the screenplays. He's been a great start so far. And if Terry McLaurin's out, you have to start this guy. And even with Terry McLaurin hampered, I'm starting him. Noah Brown, not even a thought for me. Maybe Jalen Lane, he got a touchdown last week. Still not throwing him in there as redraft with a confident start. Falcons side, are we worried about Michael Penix yet? Because, damn, it looks so bad. 30-0 spanking from the Carolina Panthers last week. Michael Penix gets benched for Kirk Cousins at the end. Scary times are upon us, Atlanta, right now. If they go 1-3, or if they fall behind in this game, don't be surprised you see Kirk Cousins come in. But Drake London, man, this matchup is beautiful. The Washington Commanders secondary is terrible. I mean, they just get hemorrhage points to the wide receiver. They rank 25th, giving up 36.5 points per game, 33 receptions, 482 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's over a touchdown a game they allowed just to the wide receiver position. This has got to be Drake London time, like right now or never. And, I mean, Kyle Pitts is going to have a great matchup here, too. We'll get to that in the tight end video. Darnell Mooney, I don't trust it yet. He had a smash play. He had a smash matchup last week, did nothing with it. Ray McLeod, definitely not going to start him in a redraft, let's be honest, unless you're playing like a 32-man league. But this has got to be Drake London time here. And I like Drake London and Deebo Samuel only as starts in this game. The 0-3 Saints and Kellen Moore are headed into the 3-0 Buffalo Bills. And this is what I've been talking about with the Saints all year long. It hasn't clicked yet, right? Chris Olave had 11 targets at halftime last week, guys. Halftime. And I said they're going to get blown out by Seattle. They're going to get blown out by the Buffalo Bills here again. The over-under is 47.5. The spread is 16.5. That's the worst. Like I saw a tweet in Saints franchise history, which is absolutely bonkers. And you got to love volume. Rashid Shaheed could be a flex play possibly in this game too. Chris Olave just hasn't popped yet. The opportunity and the volume, that is what I chase. That is what I would buy in Chris Olave 100% right now if I was trying to buy low. And I'll get to that later in this week in a buy low wide receiver video. He will 100% be on it. And I will drop a ton of statistics of why I like to buy him even more than I'm telling you now. Now, when you're going up against the Buffalo Bills here in this game, this is a very tough matchup. The Bills are ranking 8th versus the wide receiver, 28 points a game. They've given up 28 receptions for 340 yards, 4 TDs. Now, I throw all that out the window because the Saints play 90% of their games from behind. Chris Olave has been lining up in the slot. They use him in the Kellen Moore system a lot. He's the volume hog. I like Chris Olave as a start every single week just based on volume. Rashid Shaheed, more of a home run hitter, low-end flex play, but he could be nice as well. The Bills side, this could be a game that gets out of hand. These are both low-end flex plays for me. Actually, I put on my Twitter, sorry, we got to change this. I don't want to mess them both up. I put Keon Coleman as a sit in this game. I do think that Keon Coleman has a higher touchdown upside, but I think this is more of a James Cook, Ray Davis. You know, they just pound them out. It's 28-3 by halftime, and it gets very, very ugly. And if there was any low-end flex play, I'd say Khalil Shakir, but I really don't like it. But he came off a touchdown last week. So if you wanted to start one Bills wide receiver this game, it would be Khalil Shakir. And, I mean, you're going up against the Saints. This defense is getting hemorrhaged every single way because their offense can't move the ball. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They're on the field the whole time. Time of possession is so against them that this defense is so tired. They rank 21st versus the wide receiver, getting up 34.4, 31 receptions, 425 yards a game to the wide receiver and 4 touchdowns. No bueno there, but I don't think it's going to be a game where you need a lot of Bills wide receivers in this game. The Cleveland Browns and Joe Flacco at 1-2 coming off the monster win versus the Green Bay Packers because the goddamn Browns defense is so good, are headed in to face the Detroit Lions. Now, I mean, their defense is going to give them so many opportunities, it seems like, because it's literally earned the right to be respected now. I mean, the Myles Garrett and that defense is absolutely nasty. So when it comes to Jerry Jeudy and Tillman and Njoku and Fannin, it's like the same situation I've been talking about all year. I like to chase volume. I like teams that play from behind. I like pass-heavy game scripts. This has got to be another one, right? I don't think they're going to pull another Packers, hold them to 13-10 game here at Detroit. The Lions play better at Ford Field, but the Lions are very weak versus the wide receiver. They give up 35.4 points per game. That ranks 23rd, 34 receptions, 474 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So Jerry Jeudy and Tillman should be volume flex plays if you need. It's just they haven't really hit yet. They obviously the offense didn't really score at all last week besides Judkins, so you didn't see much happen for the wide receivers there. But Tillman's got a touchdown before. Judy's getting volume. If you need a flex play, they're probably going to be down passing 90%. These are both low-end flex plays for me with high touchdown upside because garbage time and passing from behind. That's what you want in fantasy football. Even if it's garbage time points count, I'm okay flexing either one of them as low-end flex plays this week. On to the Lions side, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I owe the Lions an apology. They absolutely beat the brakes off the Ravens last night. They ran them over. Now, Amon-Ra with another touchdown, coming off the 3-touchdown game before. He's an always start wide receiver. Let's be real here. Now, Jameson Williams, guys, and I tweeted it out after the game. I said it on every single show. I said it even on the start-sit show. If you draft this guy, you live with the nightmare of the start-sit situation with him. I'm never going to say start him. I'm never going to say sit him. I'm always going to say it is up to you in the middle. Because if you want to take the home run shot, that is on you. I chase volume. He's got 12 targets in 3 games. Chris Olave had 11 targets at halftime. Who would you rather have, right? These are things you have to understand in fantasy football. And Jameson Williams did nothing again last night in a good game script in a high implied point total game. So I'm not ever going to say start him. I'm not ever going to say sit him. I will tell you one thing. As soon as he hits his 20-point, package him and trade him so you don't deal with this nightmare all year long. They're going up against the Cleveland Browns. This is a very tough matchup. Jordan Love just got hammered by the Cleveland Browns. Jordan Love's offensive line is better than the Detroit Lions. I'm still starting Amon-Ra, but this defense is a force to be reckoned with, man. They rank 9th versus the wide receiver, giving up 29 points a game, 28 receptions, 362 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's J-Mo's got to hit a home run, not starting him. Amon-Ra, I'm starting Tesla, not even a thought. The 1-2 Panthers, coming off the 30-0 beating last week of the Atlanta Falcons, are headed into Foxborough to take on the 1-2 Patriots. 43.5 over/under. New England's favored by 5.5. Now, Ted McMillan, you can tell this guy's going to be a superstar, right? And one thing you got to note for this game, too, as well, is I haven't seen the update on Christian Gonzalez. Their superstar corner missed the first 3 games. If he's out there, he does shadow left side of the field. He will be on Ted McMillan probably 56% of the time, which would bring Ted's stat down a little bit because he's earned that. He's a damn good corner. Now, another thing you got to notice here, and what I've alluded to a couple of times here, is when you got the Carolina Panthers, Dave Canales, you saw last year down the second half of the season, 1 win, and they get streaky. So this could be, and it doesn't matter if it's a bad matchup team. A win in the NFL is a win. I hate when people are like, oh my God, they, this, that. Dude, look what the Cleveland Browns did to the Packers, right? 1 win can turn your team around, can get confidence, boost morale. So look out here. If the Panthers get this dub, look out for this run, man. I've been high on the Panthers all year. They had a slow start. This could be what they need. I'm starting Ted. I'm not starting Xavier Leggett. Coker, someone you should be paying attention to because it comes off IR next week, and he'll be involved in this offense. Now, Patriots side. Stephon Diggs. Oh, wait, I forgot. We had to talk about the Patriots defense versus the wide receiver first. I completely blanked because I was so excited to talk about the Panthers and their little run I wanted to go on because I've been so high on the Panthers. New England Patriots ranked 26th versus the wide receiver, giving up 38 points a game, 34 receptions, 490 yards, 4 touchdowns. Not a ugly matchup, but again, Christian Gonzalez does change that for Ted if he's out there. Patriots side. Stephon Diggs, Boutte, if you want to throw him out there, Pop D, all low-end flex plays. I'd say Pop D more of a sick. Kyle Williams try to get a little more involved. Efton Chisholm still not out there. Stephon Diggs only playing 50% of snaps still. Not enough. Not enough for me to say start him. The matchup versus the Carolina Panthers, this defense is their numbers are gonna boost because of last week they just shut a team out. So they rank 3rd versus the wide receiver, giving up 22 points a game. 273 yards to the air and 1 touchdown because Michael Penix just laid an egg. So when it comes to this game, as I get the hiccups, I'm not high on Diggs. I'm not high on Boutte. Could they find the end zone? Yeah, they're low end flex plays for me. Don't love it. Don't hate it. I mean, not someone I would throw in there with confidence this week, but if you need to, I'm okay with it. Bolt up, baby. The 3-0 Los Angeles Chargers and MVP looking like quarterback Justin Herbert are headed in to wreck the hopes and dreams of Jackson Dart and his first NFL start at MetLife Stadium. Now, here's the crazy thing. This is just bonkers to me, right? But I did say to stay away from Ladd McConkey at ADP all drafts. A very low best ball, very low redraft of him. And you're finding out why. As soon as they signed Keenan Allen, I was like, oh boy, here we go. And the matchup doesn't get any better. I mean, the freaking New York Giants cannot stop the wide receiver. They rank second last, 31st, giving up 44 points a game to the wide receiver. 46 receptions through 4 games. That's over 10-plus receptions to the wide receiver position. 587 yards, second last in yards to the wide receiver position. 3 touchdowns. Justin Herbert is about to shred this offense. But here's the crazy thing. So Ladd McConkey still getting great separations. One of the best route runners. I said that when I scouted him last year. That he reminds me of Devontae Adams route running. He's so good. But he's not the red zone look. Keenan Allen is the red zone look. Quentin Johnston is the home run look. And they're getting more volume than Ladd McConkey. So I know it's a 3-game sample size right now, but Ladd McConkey, stat-wise, and there's no way to argue it, is the wide receiver 3 right now for the Chargers. And they still got Trey Harris waiting. So, I mean, and you saw Rondé Gadsden, the rookie, get the rookie tight end that hadn't even played, got the same amount of targets as Ladd McConkey last week. I mean, Justin Herbert's going to light it up across the board. The New York Giants are absolutely screwed in this game. But Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston are must-starts for me. Ladd McConkey's still a high-end flex play. But all 3 of these wide receivers are going to eat. It's just Ladd McConkey's eating less, and it's crazy. Giants side, thank God that Russell Wilson is gone. Watching that game was just painful, man. The guy's throwing balls into the goddamn freaking tunnel. It was so bad. So, but the matchup is rough. I wish they would have waited one more week for Jackson Dart and brought him out versus the Saints. They're throwing this guy into the wolves against the Chargers, man. The Chargers are number 7 versus the wide receiver, getting up 28 points a game, 36 receptions, 425 yards, and a touchdown. It's a very good defense all the way around. We don't know if Khalil Mack's going to be back out there forcing more pressure on Dart as well. So, I mean, anytime you have Malik Neighbors, and freaking God, I hope the Jackson Dart this connection can be amazing, because this is my number 1 dynasty stack to own, and people gave me shit saying it's Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. I was like, dude, the thing that I don't like about that is Joe Burrow's health, and boom, he gets hurt. Now, Neighbors had 1 catch last game till the freaking garbage time. That's got to change. Wan'Dale Robinson's still a low-end flex play as well, because we don't know how it's going to look with Jackson Dart, and it's a very tough matchup. Slayton, I'm not throwing out there, even though he plays 90% of snaps, which is, you know, volume is there. But this has got to be Malik Neighbors' wake-up time here. I mean, he still has a chance at wide receiver 1, in my opinion, with how talented he is. The 3-0 Philadelphia tush-push false starting Eagles are headed into the 3-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Over under 43.5. Very low implied points on it for this game. I like it to go over, but Eagles are favored by 3.5 in this game. And guess what, man? The Eagles can pass the ball after all. When they're down by 20 points and the defense is playing soft, they can erupt to pass the ball. So A.J. Brown, you know, he had a little bounce-back game. I'm going to say he's a start this week versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's defense is ranked 12th versus the wide receiver, giving up 31 points a game, so above middle of the pack there. 37 receptions, 382 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's 1 touchdown a game to the wide receiver. But there's also the fear, and this is how it's been. I mean, this is only when the Eagles were down, and down 20 points, then their pass game came alive. What if they get up and Saquon Barkley and they control the clock here, and it's an ugly passing game like it was for the first couple of games? Because there is no Mike Evans in this game for the Bucs. He is out. We don't know if Chris Godwin is going to play. That's why I have him in yellow. So you got to remember to check your updates on him, because if he's out there, I'll say he's a flex play just on the volume he gets last year. He was wide receiver 2 until the injury. Volume galore. So Egbuka must start for me regardless. But when I'm looking at the Eagles' defense versus the pass, right now on the season, the Eagles currently are ranking in at, I believe, number 17 here, giving them 32.3 points per game, 38 receptions, 448 yards, and 2 TDs. They obviously have Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, great corners out there as well, but they've been beatable. I mean, this defense has been different. Their pressure up front's not the same, and Baker Mayfield's a gamer, man. So in this game, A.J. Brown, I'm going to say, is a start. Devonta Smith and Godwin, make sure you check the injury updates on Godwin's. Flex plays if you need. I never trust Devonta Smith, man. He's boom or bust kind of for me, but could be a high scoring game here. I actually think this game might be a shootout. So, and I'm hoping it is. And then Mecca Egbuka and A.J. Brown are going to be starts for me. And then Mike Evans, man, 3 to 4 weeks. Hope the big guy gets back here and can chase his 11 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. Indiana Jones and the 3-0 Colts are headed in to face the 2-1 Rams, who just gave a game away to the Eagles, and they are got to be pissed off. And I'm going to say Michael Pittman as the start. Josh Downs, lower in flex play for me. Alex Pierce went down with an injury. Make sure you're checking those updates. I want to see Adonai Mitchell get a chance, man. He's so flashy. I've been such a fan of his. I hope he gets some time, or freaking trade him to a team so he gets an opportunity, man. So this game's 49.5 over under, very high implied point total game. Rams favored by 3.5. I think the Rams smash them here, coming off that loss to the Eagles where they should have won that game big time. Now, when you're looking at the Rams defense here for Michael Pittman, the numbers are going to be skewed lower. Why? Because they were up 20 points versus the Eagles, and the Eagles started to pass like crazy because they're playing soft prevent nickel defense, and it killed them. So the Rams defense right now is ranking at number 19, giving up 34 points. Before that, they were a top 10 defense all the way across the board. So they've given up 39 receptions, 436 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 2 of those touchdowns and 170 of those yards came last week against the Eagles again. So aberration game. They learned a lesson. The young defense, Sean McVay's not going to let that happen again. Now, on the Rams side, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, they're getting 70% of the targets combined between the two of them. 39% for Puka Nacua, 31% for Devontae Adams. No one else exists on this team. You are starting these wide receivers every single week, no matter the matchup, regardless. I don't want to see any questions or anything. These guys are top 15 wide receivers, like I said they would be all year long. Now you get the Colts. They rank 14th versus the wide receiver, giving up 31.7, 37 receptions, 385 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Matt Stafford and the Rams are pissed. They are going to light up the Indianapolis Colts. I'm telling you right now, And this is a free one. Take the spread, take the over. Rams are coming with vengeance this game for the Colts. The 2-1 Jacksonville Jaguars are headed into Levi to take on my 49ers, who are 3-0. 47.5 over under. Niners favored by 2.5 in this game. Now, we don't know if Juan Jennings is going to be out there, so I'm going to put them both as flex starts. We're going to do 49ers first either way. If Juan Jennings is out again, you move Persall up to a smash start, just like last week if you're part of the show. We got the Juan Jennings update during the show, moved Ricky Persall up 15 spots. Look what happened. My guy Slick Rick came down with a clutch catch on the sideline. He's him. Now, when you're going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars here, Brock Purdy should be back in this game again. Don't have the official update there, but I'm betting on that he's back. He practiced last week, and they thought they could get by on the Arizona Cardinals with Mac Jones. Now, when you're looking at the Jaguars here, this is your smash play. They rank 27th versus the wide receiver, getting up 37 points a game to the wide receivers, 45 receptions, 489 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Bingo! This is what you want. I mean, Jennings, even a flex play, Persall, even a start. Remember that. So even if, I'm not going to say Kendrick Bourne. He's more of a dart DFS throw if Jennings is out because the matchup is great. On to the Jaguars side. I mean, there's something I just didn't see in the offseason, and BTJ, this is the last dance. So we're going to move it up live here. This is your last dance, BTJ. Okay. I didn't realize in the offseason that Shane Waldron was part of the passing coordination for the Jaguars, or the quarterback coordination, whatever it is. I saw a tweet that's out there. And that's what's hurting the Jaguars offense. This guy, if you look back at Shane Waldron's career, when he had Jackson Smith and Jigba as a rookie, it was terrible. When he had Romo Dunze as a rookie, it was terrible. Shane Waldron's gone from both places, and look at both those wide receivers since he's gone. This could be a nightmare for BTJ and Travis Hunter this year, big time. Diami Brown going down with the injury. You could throw Parker Washington in there. He could be, he saw tons of targets last game, and Trevor Lawrence looks at him 30% target rate. He is a solid, deep, low flex play. I didn't put his picture up there, but I will next week if he pops this week. And when you're going up against the 49ers, they did lose Nick Bosa, which that's going to hurt the pressure off the edge to give more time for the wide receivers to get open. That's a given. Mykel Williams, our other DN, first-round superstar, he's also day-to-day, might not be out there as well. Trevor Lawrence could have all day in this game. He needs to find BTJ, but the San Francisco 49ers defense ranks 6th versus the wide receiver, getting 25 points a game, 32 receptions, 351 yards, and 2 touchdowns. It's been great. But you got to remember what I said about the ends. Those are their two. I mean, you can't replace Nick Bosa, let's be real. And Mykel Williams, that's a lot of pressure being gone where backups step in, which is going to be more time available for BTJ in this game, which is why I moved ETN up as a flex start as well in my running back video, just because the injuries, because my goddamn Niners can't stay healthy. So again, BTJ, I'm going to go last dance start here. The matchup is great. The matchup's not great, but the situation is great. And Ricky Persall moves up to green if Jennings is out, and Jennings is a flex play with him as well because the Jaguars is a great matchup. The battle of the 0-3 Titans are headed into the 0-3 Texans. And God damn it, thank God they relinquished the play calling from Brian Callahan to the quarterback head coach, Headeridge, or I don't know what his name is, top of my head, or I forget what it is. But they got a new play caller, and they need it, man. Cam Ward and the Titans have looked terrible. This game's over-under, guys, is 38.5 points. 38.5. That's the lowest point total of the game. Houston's still favored by 6.5. I mean, Calvin Ridley, I'm going to say, is a start here. Nope. Sorry. No. This comes down to a sit, and this does hinge. I forgot that I tweeted it late, so I had to switch the video here. Calvin Ridley, right? So I'm moving him around here. You can see him. This hinges on Stingley, the cornerback for the Texans, being healthy or not. If Stingley is out, I'm starting Calvin Ridley. If Stingley is in, I am not starting Calvin Ridley. He's earned the lockdown status. Ayamanor gets the garbage time touchdown. If you want to throw Ayamanor in, you can. He's seen volume. I still don't trust it, but I said don't start him last week, and of course he scores at the buzzer in garbage time and gets the touchdown, and everyone's like, oh, you said not to start him. I'm like, dude, look at the game. Come on. Tyler Lockett, never a start for me here. On to the Houston Texans side. All right, we got to talk about the Houston Texans defense. Sorry, I got flustered. The Texans rank 18th versus the wide receiver, get at 33.9. They give up 493 yards and 2 touchdowns. So there's opportunity there, again, but that was with Stingley down last week as well. So he could be back healthy in this game, and he is a stud corner to look out for with Calvin Ridley. Now, Nico Collins' side, you're obviously starting Nico Collins. He's starting to pop. He's getting the bomb. He got a busted play. He scored the game before, back-to-back touchdowns. You're not sitting Nico Collins. Christian Kirk, and I alluded to this going into the game last week, that Christian Kirk was talked about all camp, talked about by all the coaches, that he's the security blanket for C.J. Stroud. And you saw it last week with 8 freaking targets in his first game off injury. That's volume I like to see. So Christian Kirk moves up to an instant low-end flex play, mid-flex play if you need. You're going up against the Tennessee Titans secondary here. This is a great matchup for the Houston Texans. They rank 28th versus the wide receiver, giving up 40.6 points per game, 42 receptions, 533 yards, 4th worst in yardage, 3 touchdowns. I mean, this is a great matchup. Christian Kirk is, that's a mid-tier flex play. And Nico Collins, you're obviously smash starting this game. And C.J. Stroud needs to get it going in this game. Big freaking time. Oh, boy. 48.5 over under. Baltimore favored by 2.5. 1-2 Ravens, 1-2 Chiefs. Why is this game not primetime Monday Night Football? I know Packers and Green Bay is there, which I want to see. But damn, I can't wait for this game. And one of these teams is going to end up 1-3 unless we have a very rare tie, which is going to just start absolute mayhem across all social media, whichever team loses this game. Now, when I'm looking at this game here, Chiefs side, Ravens side. Obviously, Zay Flowers had a very, very bad game last week. Wasn't the Zay from week 1 and 2. Didn't get involved as much. I think they bracketed him more, which opened it up for Mark Andrews, which is why Mark Andrews had a big game as well. Rashad Bateman popped a little bit. I actually called him for an anytime touchdown, kind of jokingly, but it actually hit. DeAndre Hopkins not playing enough snaps for me now. When you look at the Chiefs defense, they rank 13th, giving up 31 points to the wide receiver, 37 receptions, 385 yards, and 3 touchdowns, 1 touchdown a game. Now, I think this is going to be a shootout game for some reason. I really do. I think it's going to be a 35-33 Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson special. Xavier Worthy, we don't have the update that he's back there. I'm assuming that he's going to be back this week. He is a very, very sketch start for me just because of his size coming off the injury. What if he gets popped to that shoulder? I mean, he's a small frame. It could be one hit and done, right? So very scary there. But you have to look at what Tyquan Thornton has done in his role. And how can you not start Xavier Worthy? I mean, he's even faster. The deep balls are going to hit even more. Hollywood Brown, low end kind of flex play for me if Xavier Worthy's back. If Xavier Worthy is gone, then he becomes a mid-tier flex play, or if Xavier Worthy's out. So make sure you're paying attention to those updates there. Rashee Rice, man, the Chiefs, it can't come fast enough. As soon as he comes back, he is going to electrify the Chiefs offense. I cannot wait. Now you're going up against the Baltimore Ravens. They rank 20th versus the pass, and you also saw they can't stop the run, but the Chiefs run game is not like the Detroit Lions who just crushed them for 250 last night. So it's going to be a different type game here. The Ravens give up 34 points a game to the wide receiver, 38 receptions, 448 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the year. Now you insert Xavier Worthy. I expect this to be a shootout game. I can't wait. I wish it was prime time. Going to be awesome game here to watch when both these teams are fighting to not be 1-3. Woo! Ben Johnson on the big win. Chicago Bears 1-2 headed into Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. The over-under is very high. Why? 48.5 points. Vegas is favored by 1.5. I'm taking the Bears all day in this game. But you want to know why the over-under is so high? Because both these pass defenses are absolutely bottom of the barrel terrible. So let's talk about it here first. Chicago Bears, dude, Caleb Williams, QB3, Romo Dunze, wide receiver 2, DJ Moore finds a little light after the tunnel last week. Luther Burden, my guy, gets involved and hits a bomb, more of a gadget type. I want to see his snaps go up. I'm starting DJ Moore and Romo Dunze with absolute confidence in this game because you're getting the Las Vegas Raiders, who rank 30th versus the wide receiver, giving up 43 points a game, which is absolutely terrible. 42 receptions, 551 yards, 3rd worst, and freaking 4 touchdowns to go with it. Caleb Williams is about to light it up again. That is why he is a smash start of mine, and I'm starting both these Bears with confidence in this game. Now, the Raiders side, this matchup is great. The Chicago Bears are just like the Raiders. Right behind them, ranked 29th versus the wide receiver, giving up 41 points a game, 30 receptions, 515 yards, and the most touchdowns in the NFL at 6 touchdowns they've given up to the wide receiver. Now, do the Raiders stay in this game? They can't run the ball with Ashton Genty. It's another great matchup for Genty, just like it was last week, and he still couldn't run the ball versus the Commanders. So could it be more of a pass-heavy game script? where the Raiders get garbage time again. And Trey Tucker went for 43 freaking fantasy points, was wide receiver 1 on the week, and not on anyone's roster because it was all, well, I gotta not say all garbage time. Some of his catches weren't, but he's getting volume galore. So, I mean, he's also seeing 93% snaps, which is wide receiver top 10 or wide receiver 1 top 10 usage. So low end flex play, just because last week, do I trust it? No, to happen again. And I don't expect 40 points again, but could he find the end zone again? Sure. Could Jacoby Myers find the end zone? Sure. It's a great matchup game. I just don't know how much I trust the Raiders offense to stay in the game. I think the Raiders season is completely already over and they should start the rebuild and start trading pieces right now if I was the Raiders, but I don't run the Raiders. So I'm saying DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, absolute starts. Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, low-end flex plays for me with a great matchup. Oh, yeah. The Micah Parsons revenge game. Green Bay Packers Sunday Night Football. Head into Jerry's World, 47.5 over under. And Green Bay is favored by 6.5. And this is the game that Matthew Golden is going to explode. I thought it was going to happen last week versus Cleveland. That defense proved me wrong. I think they proved everyone wrong. I think they proved 3 games in a row now that they are a legit defense, right? So why I like Matthew Golden so much this week, you saw him get involved underneath. You saw him get involved in the screen game. The week before that, it was just 2 home run bombs that were missed. You saw his snap share go up from 30% to 50% to 70%. Jaden Reed is also out, probably for the season with the surgeries that he had. I don't think he's coming back anytime soon. And you get the Dallas Cowboys defense. Just look at these numbers, guys. The defense versus the wide receiver, and tell me that Micah Parsons doesn't help this defense. They give up 48 points a game to the wide receiver position. 39 receptions, 661 yards. No other team is even at 600. That is how the closest team is 587 for the Giants. That's almost 100 yards more. They can't stop shit. This is going to be the game that he hits a bomb. This is going to be the Matthew Golden game that thrives. They've also given up 6 touchdowns, which is also tied for dead last with the Chicago Bears. You start everyone versus the Cowboys. Romeo Doubs, even a nice flex play for me as well. I thought Dontavian Wicks was my sleeper anytime TD call last week. That didn't hit. He had a chance, though. He was there twice. But Matthew Golden, this is the splash week. This is the smash start. This is the sleeper play. I love Matthew Golden this week, and I think this is the week where you start to see people try and trade for him after this week. Cowboys side, CeeDee Lamb, man, hip drop tackle, high ankle sprain. The updates have been all over the place from 4 to 6 weeks to 2 to 4 weeks to 1 week. So now there's no timetable. You know they're hiding something or whatever's going on here. I want the official update, but man, it sucks that CeeDee Lamb is down. And for me, and other people are going to be like, yeah, it's going to boost George Pickens. I think it hurts George Pickens more than it boosts George Pickens. I've watched George Pickens enough. He's not a, go get him separator. Yeah, he's a streak deep ball guy, not a zone beater, not an out route fader route runner. That's not his type of game. He did get the touchdown, but again, you got to think that was a touchdown on a busted Dak Prescott scrambled out play. That's where George Pickens can thrive. Dak Prescott not going to be scrambling that much. They're going to be under massive duress with Micah Parsons back at Jerry's World. He's going to be coming. I fear for Dak Prescott this week. I really do. But when you're looking at the defense as well, you're going up against the Green Bay Packers. I mean, you don't want to play people against the Packers. They rank 5th versus the wide receiver, giving up 25 points a game, 34 receptions, 285 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So think about that. 285 yards. If you doubled that, right, what would that equal? You'd be sitting at about 600 yards. So if you doubled the amount of yards the Packers have given up through 3 games, you still wouldn't be at the amount of yards that the Dallas Cowboys have given up. That's how good this defense is. So George Pickens, low-end flex play for me. Touchdown upside is there. Jalen Tolbert saw a little volume. Something, if you need a deep play there, maybe like a 16, 18, 20-plus man league, he might be serviceable, but I'm not starting him in any redraft leagues. And Jaden Reed is obviously in red, and he's out. Just remember, it's Golden Boy time, baby. Monday Night Football doubleheader is here. The New York Jets 0-3 headed into the Miami Dolphins 0-3. And this is a game that I really, really like, guys, which is crazy to say. And the people are going to be like, why are you interested in this game? Because both these defenses are struggling heavily, and there's a lot of superstar talent that I think is going to hit in fantasy football in this game. Now, when it comes to the Jets side, dun, 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 dun. Garrett Wilson, my guy, the call of the year as the highest guy on the planet on Garrett Wilson, and you're seeing it come to fruition again. Wide receiver 6 through 3 games. He's going to lead the NFL in targets. I called 170 plus. You get the Miami Dolphins. His competition is Josh Reynolds and Allen Lazard. He's going to see every single target there is. Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, doesn't matter. Volume is king, and that is what Garrett Wilson does, and he looks damn good this year doing it. The Miami Dolphins rank 11th versus the wide receiver, getting up 30.1. 30 receptions, 337 yards, and 4 touchdowns. That's over a touchdown a game to the wide receiver. I'm booking another one here for Garrett Wilson. Their entire secondary is beat up. Their numbers are down against the wide receiver because they hemorrhaged so much to the running back in this game over the season. So they're really not ranked 11th versus the wide receiver to me. It's just because they give up so many yards on the ground. Now, on the Dolphins side, this is Mike McDaniel fighting for his job. You saw them give a little battle to the Bills, man, on Thursday Night Football last week. So they showed a little life. Jalen Waddle, he was coming off injury in that game, still found the end zone. Got a week and a half to prep over that injury. So, it was a short week on Thursday night. They get more time to rest on that. Tyreek Hill still found the end zone, back-to-back, 15-plus point games for him. And you get the New York Jets. They rank 22nd, giving up 34.5 points. Sauce Gardner has not been worth the contract that he got. 30 receptions, 489 yards, 3 touchdowns given up. Gotta like everything here, especially when you're fighting for your coach's life. I like Waddle, I like Hill, I like Garrett Wilson. You're starting all 3 in this game. They're all going to be solid plays, in my opinion. And this is going to be a fun Monday Night Football game that I don't think people realize. Last but not least, the second part of the doubleheader, and yikes. I don't know what to do here, man. So it's like the hardest thing to decipher in fantasy football is what to do with the Cincinnati Bengals. So they're headed into the Mile High Stadium to take on the Broncos. The over-under is 45.5. Denver's favored by 7.5. Now, I know that you saw Browning look terrible, and the Minnesota Vikings turn it over. But there's got to be a way to look at it like this. Like, are the Bengals now going to become the Cleveland Browns, playing from behind with heavy pass volume all the time? That could be one thing. Are they going to find a way to fight in this game at 2-1 at Mile High with Jake Browning at quarterback and try and get a win? I don't think that's going to happen. Chase Brown has been absolutely terrible on efficiency, yards per touch. He's not going to be much better versus the Broncos. I'm still going to be starting Jamar Chase and T. Higgins probably every single week, even regardless of the situation, because they're going to have to pass. Their offensive line is not good. Their run game is not going to be good all year. I know it was a struggle last week. I mean, I'm hoping and praying that Jameis Winston finds his way to Cincy. For the love of God, that would erupt the passing game just to the max. And you're going against the Broncos defense. The Broncos defense versus the wide receiver, they rank 8th, 29.10. Again, it's not great, but volume is king, and that's what I'm banking on here with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So 40 receptions, 422 yards, and a touchdown. This is a very good pass D. Patrick Surtain is the best corner in the NFL, shadow corner there is. Going to be tough for one of them. So, I mean, I'm still throwing him out there. It's not pretty, but I'm still starting him. I got to use that voice. I'm still starting him. Like, fuck. On to the Broncos side, Cortland Sutton, big touchdown last week. Absolute smash matchup for Cortland Sutton coming here. Whenever you play the Cincinnati Bengals, you find a way to start every position that you have versus them. This defense is terrible. Trey Hendrickson, even maybe on the move to my 49ers. Come on, Trey. Come on over, baby. The Bengals ranked 16th, giving up 32.10, 38 receptions, 454 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Troy Franklin was not the wide receiver 2 that everyone thought splash week number 2. Marvin Mims was not the wide receiver 2 after splash week number 1. We don't know what it's going to be, but the one thing we do know is Cortland Sutton is the number 1 target out there while Evan Ingram is down with injury, and Cortland Sutton is going to be a start for me probably the rest of the way at this point, but it's never sexy. Boom. Thanks for rocking with me today, guys. That is the end of the episode. Wide receiver, stardom, sit-ems, all for week 4. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Remember, if you guys have any questions, it does not have to pertain to this video, drop them in the comments. I try to answer every single one of them. That is a goal of mine. It is becoming very, very hard between Twitter and YouTube and all the questions across everything, but I promise I'll try to get to them no matter what. And if I don't get to them, always make sure you check out the show. I will be live again this Thursday, an hour before kickoff. We'll be going over every start-sit question you guys have. I try to cover all those as well in the show. I also do our Patreon and stuff in there as well. We cover those questions as well first, obviously, because they're supporters of our channel. Before you head out, make sure you smash that like and subscribe. All the support's appreciated. Again, if you guys haven't checked out the Discord I just talked about, the guys FF, it will be pinned in the comments and in the description. Make sure you tap the link, tap in. We talk football 24/7, cover everything to help you guys there as well. And if you want to see our pick'em tickets and you want to see our DFS Tertiary Plays, where my guy Big Draft Energy just finished second last week in the DFS draft, winning $1,500 there. Make sure you sign up on Draft using promo code SLEEZ. And that's it for me in this episode, man. I'll catch you guys the next one, which will be my tight end stardom sit-ems, and then all my rankings come tomorrow. Sleaze Bomb out. Hope to see you guys in the next one.